Hey guys, welcome to another vlog Babble, and today we're gonna have a really cool special guest. Talk about a little nostalgic about how I started my channel and stuff. I just recently written a blog entry about that, so if you want to check that out, it's linked down below. But we'll be talking about Dave and about Miniwargaming, about how they got started as well, and some little tips and tricks about how to get your channel started or get it going to where it's at. First of all, let's get some stuff out of the way. Okay, winners of the Will figures from the last vlog Babble. Now, I'm sorry it took a while to get another vlog Babble out, but I've been really busy. So here are the winners. So I'll go ahead and leave that up on the screen while I think aimlessly about the universe. And those are the winners, and I'll contact them shortly. Let's talk about BatReps now. It's just a new convention that they're trying to start up, and they're doing it through Kickstarter, which is kind of very interesting. It's going to be located at Duluth, Minnesota, and it's going to be held at a really big convention center to get this going. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. So if you're looking for a convention to start up around that area, and I believe Oasis Rising is in that area, so that'd be really cool to see her do some coverage on that. But if this does get going, it'll be in Duluth, Minnesota, and it'd be nice to see more. We need more of these conventions out and be successful. So the links are down below if you want to see something go on in that area. Put in some, go and pledge in some money, and then see if they could get it going. It'd be really, really cool. On the local front, it looks like JJ's Game Lounge, which is our new place to go, our new home, WGC's home, my home, Les's home, to go play games and stuff, is a great success as far as what I can tell. Fortunately, it's this weekend. I'm in New York, so I couldn't be there. But from what I've seen so far and from what I've been told, it's been really, really good. And I miss those guys there. So hopefully when I get back, I'll go and visit and start playing there again and stuff. So it's really good to have that home. It's a long story about what happened. Maybe I'll tell it someday. It's very interesting as well. But anyways, JJ's Game Lounge, check them out. Links down below. And our feature channel today is, I guess, WargamerGirl. Now, I believe it's WargamerGirl. Anyways, I didn't know who to feature for this vlog, but then I was talking to Dave after we did our little Skype shoot, and he mentioned, Miranda, and then I thought, hey, it'd be a great channel to feature right now. She does a lot of War Machine stuff and pretty good polished battle reports, as well as I think she reviewed Zombie Dice or something like that. But it looks like it go places, so hopefully Miranda will put out more videos, get away from her busy schedule to do more videos. It'll be nice to see, but really good stuff, so check her out. Links down below. And this is where we talk with Dave from Miniwargaming.com. We talk about how they got started and stuff like this. It's kind of leading to the blog entry I made yesterday about my little journey with my Wargaming channel. So for those that are starting one, hopefully this will help you guys out, along with the entry below, the blog entry. So you can check out the link down below. And for those that don't have a channel, get to see a little back end about what we see as video makers on YouTube. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Alright, and we are recording, and thank you for joining me here, Dave. This is like the second time we're going to try this, because the first time totally messed up on the audio. Anyways, we're here. Actually, this is a lead-in to the blog entry I posted yesterday about kind of looking back on how I started my channel on the journey to, and all the little experiences that I ran into, and giving that advice to other people who want to start their channel. So I thought it'd be great to get you up online here and talk about how Miniwargaming got started and stuff like that. So why don't you give me that, or us, that spiel about how Miniwargaming started.
How it started? It started with Matt, actually. Matt, I've known Matt for a long time, since we were 5 years old, like a really, really long time. And we've always played games, always played role-playing games and stuff like that. Growing up, Mech Warrior, Fighting Fantasy, like
Nice.
just classic role-playing games mostly, right? Risk, all the time played Risk. In fact, I remember one time he got mad because he lost, and he went with all the models all over the place, and it was actually at his house. Family was playing, And he got in trouble for that. And that was
Oh no.
funny. Like, you probably hate that I told that story, but I just tell it because it'll make people smile. But anyway, it started with Matt because he was in Burlington and he was walking and he sees a Games Workshop and he's like, oh, what's this? And he goes in and he sees that it's Warhammer, and his automatic reaction was Warhammer. Come on! But before he can get out, there was this guy in the store named Spencer. And we call Spencer the grandfather of wargaming because he's the one that actually started it all. It was this little guy named Spencer. And he lured Matt back in, and he showed Matt the Lord of the Rings miniatures because he could clearly see that Matt wasn't interested at all in the Warhammer miniatures at that time. And, we're fans of Lord of the Rings, love the movies, read the books. And so Matt ended up buying a couple $100 worth of miniatures of Lord of the Rings stuff. And so he opens it up at home. It's a strategy game. He's like, oh, okay, well, I got to put these together. I got to play against somebody. So he calls me up, and he's like, Dave, you want to play Lord of the Rings? I'm like, sure. What's Lord of the Rings? No idea what it was, right? So, but it was fun. And we painted them up because he bought paints, too. And I was the bad guys, of course. Those were the orcs and goblins. And I was the cave troll and Urukai, and it was awesome. It was just so much fun throwing crap at the Fellowship of the Ring.
Right.
And I lost every time, but it doesn't matter because it was just a lot of fun. And so that's how we started getting into Warhammer. That was a little over 5 years ago, like 5.5 years ago, roughly. At this time, I had a landscaping business. So I went around in my truck, my Ford F-150, that I decorated with decals to be all professional. And he had his internet marketing business, and I that's why I'm so interested, and that's why I love terrain making.
Yeah.
I was doing this in real life, making like flagstone walkways and retaining walls and that sort of thing. So it was cool. So what started the business was, I can't remember who thought of the idea. It's happened so long ago, and it's meshed and it's melded together so much. But
Right.
one of us thought of, hey, why don't we just do this as a business? It'd be so much fun. We go into it as a partnership, and we just kind of fly with something, right? So we started with the online store, and we actually entered in the products, like all the products that you see on the online store, the original ones. Like there's constant updates, right, that we have other people do now, but like the first over 1,000 products, we entered each one with the descriptions, wrote unique descriptions for each one, and just like sweat and blood putting every single product in. And then we thought, how are we going to get traffic to the website? And so that's where YouTube came in. And we started with a YouTube video contest. And so for the viewers who've been with us since the beginning, they'll know the exact video. And that's a video where I dressed up in Matt's shirt and I wore his glasses because Matt is the quintessential nerd. I'm half human, so I'm only half nerd. And a lot of people don't even think I'm a nerd because I don't even know why. I'm totally a nerd, so just don't even think that I'm not a nerd because that's not cool. Like that's not cool at all. Like it's cool to be nerd because the nerds rule the planet.
Yeah, they do. Totally great.
They totally do. So
that's when you jumped on that first video, and then you were saying you got like quickly 500 subscribers about around there or something.
yeah, from doing that video contest, we upped our subscribers from like 1 every 3 days to about 10 a day. That just people kept on subscribing. So after 10 days, there's 100, and so after a month, there was a good amount. So at that rate of growth, at that stage in time, at that age of YouTube and in our business, like that was huge growth, right?
Yeah.
And so that was awesome. So I was like, man, there's a small hick town watching our videos.
Yeah,
So,
I remember back that. So it's really cool that when you started the business and then started the videos, it's actually easier when you have someone there to start it with you. Like you have Matt, and actually I was lucky to befriend Les before I even started my Wargaming channel, and he gave me a lot of advice. He's kind of like, I'm a guy that's very into like big ideas and always jumping head first before usually thinking about it completely. And Les usually holds me back, keeps my head on the ground, and says, hey, wait, let's think this through first. Do you really want to do that? And I guess, Les is my Matt to your Matt, I guess. Right?
yeah.
So Matt's always been there for you. I mean, I mean, we talked about this yesterday, where you guys kind of like left brain, right brain, but then
Yeah,
some of the stuff is kind of half backwards.
yeah. Like he would definitely be left brain, I'm right brain. Like for the first year of the business, like he wasn't even in videos. He didn't want to be tainted by the nerd wargaming because he was internet marketing. Like people knew him in that industry, right? And
Right.
they didn't want them to find out. Like, hey, what are you doing with this stuff? Oh, lost all credibility. Nope, not gonna take any advice from you anymore. So that was his thought, right? But after a year, he got over that very quick. Maybe it's because he
Yeah.
saw how much fun I was having with the videos.
And now he's doing a lot of videos
Oh
and
yeah,
everything, BatReps and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
for you, I mean, 5 years, that's a lot. I mean, I've only been, doing it about 2 years. How do you keep going? How do you keep making those videos? Because one of the biggest things about making a successful channel is to make videos. Some people just give up on the first or two or three videos, or even the first video. They wonder why it never worked. But you have to keep pushing those videos out. What drives you to make them?
I would say absolute love of the hobby. I'm purely addicted to this stuff. Like this is it's bad. Like I gotta like visit a group. If there's a group that exists for this, like I am there because like
Right,
man, like and you know this because I talk to you like every day. Like I'm up until 3 or 4 every morning just doing wargaming stuff, like looking at
yeah,
videos and just seeing what the community's up to. Like it's pure love of the hobby. Because out of the 5 years, the first 3 years we weren't making any money.
right.
I didn't pay myself, right? Like I don't know how my kids are alive. I don't know what they ate. It's ridiculous. Yeah,
Yeah, but
like
that's one of the things you sacrifice in starting a business. Practical, basic business is you're not going to make any money, at least for the first year. But you work hard at it, and you keep it going. So you got to kind of think of that when you start a channel. So you got to keep it going. You got to spend the time on it, and whatever resource you have. If you really want to, make it, successful channel. If you want to just sit there and share, it's fine too. If you want to get, beyond that point, you don't have to keep putting out those videos. You're going to have to really, work at it and stuff like that. And a lot of times, it's not just about making really polished videos, as you would call it, polished videos, because we
mhm.
like editing. That's one of the reasons why I like doing the videos. I'm not in it for the money. There's no reason for me to be in it for the money. But it's the passion of the hobby. And the reason why my videos I like making polished is because I like editing. I like filming. That's another part of the hobby for me. And I believe it's for you as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and putting that it's like an extension of your personality when you
Yeah.
edit a video in such a way where you can just express whatever you're doing and do it in such a way where it's like, yeah, I'm presenting this stuff in a way that it's exactly how I'm thinking because it's like a thought. To describe a thought is difficult, but to visually see the thought is so much easier, right?
Yeah, it
And
is.
a lot of times it's unspoken. Like the last Life of Wargamer that I did with Dan,
Mm-hmm.
where we're just around the office, we're kind of just dinking around, right? Playing with weapons and yelling at each other. Like behind the scenes, it didn't show much of this with Dan and I, but behind the scenes, I'd set up the camera and I'd say, okay, so let's just go. And so no there was just like it was all improvised, as you can
Yeah.
imagine, unless people were feel like fooled and thought that it was all scripted because like it was clearly not. So yeah, and it was just pure creativity and pure fun and pure like goofiness and I think
Some
that's what it's all
Yeah,
about. So,
some of the best thing is the non-scripted one. That whole master chunk thing I did with the Space Marine thing. There was no script at all. I just sat there and go, well, all right, I'll do this part next, and I'll do that part next, and then take it into the editing room and then put them together. And it's funny because editing is an art itself.
mhm.
Obviously, I've seen you do it because you showed me raw footage of you talking to Nick, and then I see the final product. I'm like, oh, you made him totally look insane. He was just normal in the raw footage, but you made him look totally insane. I was laughing so hard, and I think that's probably why I was laughing more than usual because I saw what it really was, as opposed to what came out at the final product. So it's kind of fun, and we talk a lot lately about the creative stuff. We like the creative stuff. You, I, and Joey, we like doing the creative stuff. I think for me
Mhm.
more than a lot of the tutorials and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, And so, I mean, what is your favorite stuff? It's just the creative stuff. What else do you like doing? What other types of videos?
I like uh, I like so many aspects of the hobby. It's funny, and I like making videos about all aspects of the hobby. Like even an unboxing video. Like I never make unboxing videos, right? But I made one for Dark Vengeance,
Yeah.
and it was some of the most fun I've had, just because I was just goofing around, right? Like I just did it did it my own way, and it was just fun. And I was surprised actually to see the response from it, because people are like, "Dave, you got to make more unboxing videos. Like this was great." Like, I was just goofing off, right? Just be acting stupid the whole time. Like, man, if the teachers in school saw that I actually get paid to act stupid, like it'd be unbelievable. Like I'd like to see their reactions. That'd be a good video.
So that's a good point right here to talk about being yourself, because a lot of people think that they have to be some other way on camera, but in reality, I mean, a lot of people like watching you for being you, and you are you in the videos. You're not pretending, unless you're, play acting some scene or something like that.
I'm the
Um,
most serious person.
yeah,
Like
you
it's a
are
pure
the
acting
most serious.
job.
Yeah, right.
Academy Awards, they contacted me. They're like, "Man, you pull off like the goof like so well," and yeah, it's
I'll
pretty
totally vote
incredible.
for you. Yeah, totally get you that trophy, right? I think
Yeah.
um, I think you're one of the most fun, goofiest person I could relate to. You know, other than some other people.
Yeah, I was going to say your words are very kind, but then you're like, you're one of the fun, goofiest people, and then you say I can relate to. So I did like a 360, then a 360, then a 360. I'm like, but do I agree with this? Do I say thank you? Like, what do I say? I'm just gonna listen.
Yeah, I mean, there is like a little part of us that we don't show on camera. I mean, obviously, we talk on Skype, and you see the words coming out of my typing fingers,
Yeah,
and even you said like, "Oh, dude, something I want to capture and log all this stuff on Skype and show it to the world or whatever." I say some really weird, odd stuff, but it's
I
it's
love it though, man.
it's one of my weird knowledge. But the whole thing is being yourself. I think is a big important part of creating your channel and getting it
Absolutely.
there, because people know they'll feel it when you're faking it. They'll feel it when you're not having fun, and that's
Yeah,
another thing. You gotta have fun with it, and you gotta try different videos. Like you said, you didn't do an unboxing until you finally did that Dark Vengeance one. You had fun with it, so
so much fun.
yeah, you just have to try different things.
That's right.
Especially for your channel and what you want to give to your audience. Now,
That's
when you
right.
guys started doing all the videos and stuff like that, you guys are pretty much all about yourself, about mini wargaming and what you guys are doing there and stuff like that, and then entertaining the masses, right? You guys didn't really start reaching out to other YouTube video makers until just recently with live shows and all the other stuff you and I were talking about. And how did that all start? I believe it started when you were at Valhalla with
Yeah,
Nick.
yeah. It started in Valhalla because Sean Sean invited us, myself and Matt, to go to this past Valhalla that happened in October. Nick from Worthy Painting, he happened to be there too. He was invited as well. And so uh, it was the three or the four of us that met, and I had a chance to meet them in person. And when I met them, I felt like I've known them forever. Like we were long lost friends. It was great, and so just like instant friendship, instant relationship. And I just realized, I'm like, you know what? I've been missing out on something this whole time, because I've interacted with, and I would say interacted. I've interacted with the viewers before in Ask a Wargamer type of videos, or holding contests and things like that, right? But I've never done collaborations. Not too much.
Right.
A little bit here and there, but never like a full concentrated effort on collaborating with other YouTube wargaming channels. And it really inspired me when I was talking to Sean and Nick, because Nick, he mentioned you guys, he mentioned you and Les and Joey, and then that's what you guys do. Like that's what you're all about, right? And you know people, and you have relationships with them, and you're friends with them. Like, you know what? I it's like, duh. Why didn't I think of this before? Like, have friends, and not just like make videos and be lonely and people think you're crazy. So like it's so much better to like be crazy together, right? So
Yeah.
that's like, it really inspired me to contact a bunch of people, and to contact you. See, like, look, see, long lost brother. I didn't even know that you were there, and that like I've heard of you before because I think that I stumbled across your videos. I think it was about 2 years ago actually. First time I saw you
Yeah.
on a video, I'm like, hey, this guy's Chinese, and so I'm just gonna watch it. So
Yeah, totally. I mean, a lot of the stuff is about. Yeah, I mean, network. You can sit there and just do what you do and try to stay away from everything. But when you have a group of people, especially peers, that support what you do and bounce ideas off each other, it's like a conundrum of chaos, but great chaos. You know, the stuff
yeah,
that feels good and stuff, and a lot of things. That's why I got hooked on Adepticon last year when I went. I never really connected people in that way. It's always through YouTube and over Skype and stuff like that. But when I went to Adepticon and started talking to people and having people come up to me and say, "Oh, I watch your videos all the time and thank you." And one guy, really cool stories. One guy came up and said, before Adepticon, before I came here for 2 weeks, I was watching your videos and I was learning all this stuff and tricks and stuff like that. And I painted my army up and I won first place. And he showed me the army and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's just awesome. Even Ken from Badger was blown away by the story. He's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. Thank you for, telling us that. And he handed him over a compressor and a couple of airbrushes to take home because he was so blown away by that story. But it's really kind of cool, when you start meeting people, when you start making friends and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
And that, networking is a very important part of, getting bigger out there. It's not, kissing other people's butts because they're bigger or not, but going in and just being part of the whole whirlpool of ideas that's going out there between us. Now, we were talking about doing another Valhalla with, this you three and then me, Joey, and Les, and I don't know who else that we talked to, but I can't wait for that to happen because I can't wait to see how all the ideas will, just bounce off the walls over there when we're all
Yeah,
together. So that's
like
going to be
that's going to be so much fun, man. Like that's going to be. Now it's up in the air as to when it's going to be exactly in
right.
2013, if the world doesn't end. It's in like spring or fall, probably more so fall. That'd be if I were to wager a guess. It's looking towards fall,
Fall.
and it's going to be one of those things where we just like invite a lot of people,
Yeah.
like floodgate. We're going to like break walls because it's going to explode. Because there's going to be so much massive Wargamer BO, and it's just going to like fill up and like explode. It's going to be awesome.
Because honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing other people there as well. I mean, you're already connecting with a lot of people at the live shows. When the WGC project goes up, hopefully we'll connect with a lot more there. And again, ideas flowing. I mean, you didn't see the project or really understood it until you talked to me and I was showing you some stuff on that project. And hopefully you guys get more involved with that as well. And then, the whole thing about us, or at least WGC, is to reach out to everyone to help everyone, as best as it can. I mean, there's some people that you run into that you don't get along with, and it happens, and you just kind of like, but you help as many people as you can. That's what I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, networking is huge. Now, during all this stuff, I mean, even when you weren't really reaching out, did you run into bad characters? Any stories about running into some, maybe not shitty, but some weird stuff that you don't mind sharing? I know we talked about some stuff. I don't know if you want to share that type of stuff. But even in this community of ours, as good as it is, as friendly as it is, we still have our bad apples.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely bad apples, and you're going to get that anywhere you go, obviously. And I don't have anything specific to share. What I would say though is, for people who are trying to start out making videos, and it's actually along the lines of what you had wrote in your blog post, is that kind of be careful, don't jump right in and like just like set all your kind of like throw out your standards, so to speak, just to kind of maybe piggyback onto someone else, or to rely on them 100% for your success. But to be kind of cautious, right? Just be like, okay, so we try something that works. If it doesn't, that's cool too. And just kind of make sure that if you're going to partner with someone, if you're going to collaborate with someone, that you get to know them a little bit first, right? Like let's see, they've been making videos for a while, and their videos are good. You agree with what they make and how they feel about things. Like before I contacted you, I watched some of your videos. And just, okay, well, let's see what this guy's about. Like, really, what's Chung about? What kind of videos does he make, right? Like, okay, the guy's funny as crap, man. Like, okay, so I know right away as soon as I talk to him, it's like I don't even have to talk. I just make a face and he'll know exactly what I mean. Like, like this face,
Yeah.
like what I'm thinking, and I know what you're thinking by the reaction to the face. So this is all. You don't even have to talk. Like that's the kind of people I want to surround myself with.
You're starting to write a love song here. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Romance is so thick that you can like turn it into some little soup right now.
Huge bromance going on here. Huh? There's just one thing that have you ever gotten used to? And I didn't really ever get used to, and it might sound egotistical, but it really isn't. But I run into a lot of things where sometimes I might meet people out, when I'm out and about, that actually watch my channel, and they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, wow, I watch your channel and stuff." And the compliments flow, and I'm still not used to that because it's really hard for me to take compliments in the first place because I'm usually the type of guy that's trying to inspire rather than be inspired type of thing. And do you ever run into that problem where, have you gotten used to it when people come up to you and say, "Oh my God, you're Dave from Miniwargaming, it's so awesome," and they just kind of like look at you like a star type of thing?
Man, like I have yet to experience that. Like I don't know, I must be doing something wrong. Like I gotta like go somewhere and just like destroy. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's happened before. It's very surreal. Okay, I'll tell you. It's kind of a funny experience because we went to Games Day Chicago. This is like a year or two ago. I don't remember. Recent. And Matt and I were there, and there was this convention wherever it was held, and there was a DoubleTree right across the street, right? And we drove there, and so we drove, and we passed the corner, and of course we could tell that the people that are on the streets are wargamers,
Right.
just because there's a certain look about the guys that it's kind of obvious, right? And so as we were passing, and I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, okay, let's see. I just out of curiosity, maybe someone might recognize us, right? And it was kind of neat because as we were driving, we were going around the corner, I saw like these group of people. They're like they went like that, right? And they must have seen like a friggin' wraith or something because I don't know what's wrong with those people. And that was funny, right? And so that started that weekend. And there was a lot of moms actually that came up. They're like, "Oh, thank you so much. My son loves watching your videos. He goes around and eats carrots now, and he wants to get chaotically jacked." And like it was funny, like hearing this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I think that made me realize that the stuff that I do has more of an impact than I realize.
Yeah.
Like more of a positive impact because there's mothers, multiple, coming up and saying, "Thank you for doing this for my son. It's made him happy." And so that made me think, that's really awesome in and of itself. But also, I got to be careful because what if I'm just goofing around and I do something that I don't really mean, but then people might think that that's really how it needs to be done, and then they do that, right? So I gotta be careful, right? Especially like I got kids too, and I wouldn't want to see somebody and think because he's doing it because that's cool, then they're not gonna do it too.
Well, that's the other thing is that you're gonna run into is like you'll make a video and you meant to put out the message this way, but but a couple of people take it this way and then suddenly make it into worse than what it really is. I mean, have you ever had random problem where you're just like, this is what the video is supposed to be, and people twist it around and say this is what they see it as, something bad or something like I did. Straight up wargamers that we know, and then most people got it. They laughed at it. They're like, yeah, the stereotypical gamer. Then you got the 2 or 3 people say, "Oh, this is awful. You're making fun of people. Now they don't want to play. Wargaming. You're a detriment to this hobby." And it just kind of makes you go, "Whoa, where the hell did that come from?" Because if anyone knew me, I'd be the first one to stand up for the misfits or what have you, because I grew up with one. That's the whole thing. So, you ever had that? You ever ran into that? And any of your videos make so many, so you've got to run into that.
Yeah, there's been things like, for example, I would say it probably happens more with Matt because Matt's a really good player. Like he's a genius. He'll never admit to this, but he is a friggin' genius. Like he's trilingual. He learned 2 languages in the course of 3 months. I'm not kidding.
No, that's
and
crazy.
he's really good at the game, right? And so he wins a lot of his games. And there was this one video in particular that I remember, and this happened more than once, that a guy came down to play, right? And then they figured, okay, we're going to do this custom scenario. We'll do this Planet Strike game. You know, we don't typically play Planet Strike, but we'll just do it. We're going to make this custom scenario. And without realizing it, he made it so his Tyranids had like an 80% advantage over this guy's Space Marines, right? He totally clobbered him. He tabled him in turn two.
Oh man.
And man, and this thing that was meant to be fun, you know, just something that we never do. We don't really kind of do the custom stuff too much. Man, the comments, they were raping him. Like it was bad. They're like, oh, I can't believe you're a list tailorer. Man, you just have to win at any cost. Like, just like all the stuff that they were saying, right? And like we actually took the video down because completely misunderstood the
Yeah.
idea. The idea was to have fun, right? The guy didn't care. He was like, "Oh, you know, I got my butt kicked, but it doesn't matter. It's just having fun anyway." And
And that's I think that's one of the worst things about being a community is that a lot of people jump to half truths and rumors when they don't even know the whole story, and it just adds to the fire of untruths. You know, I mean, good example would be, I mean, I had to confirm it with you about the whole Sean thing. I don't know if we want to talk about that or not.
sure,
With
sure,
the
I'll
whole
talk about it.
thing, I mean, you started backing. Nick was backing up to me. You know, I was asking Nick, and he goes, "No, no, that he totally got it wrong. That's not how it happened." Then I confirmed it with you. That's totally not what happened. And it's just people just jumping up to conclusions to join in on the drama, even though half of them says, "I don't want to be, you know, in any drama or trying to stay away from that stuff." And next thing you know, they're in on it, you know,
Hmm.
or they're helping feed the fire. You
Yeah.
know, so it's kind of sucks, and it happens. We're all human after all,
Hmm.
and we live and thrive on those things. They rather see a hero fall rather than rise. You know, half
Yeah,
the time.
fortunately. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
way it is a lot of times. And I did say this to you before, but I'll say it again. I'll stand behind Sean. Sean's my friend, and I got a chance to know him, and I've been corresponding with him ever since I met him. And anything that's bad, I don't think he did. I don't
yeah,
think that he did. If he made mistakes, that it was unintentional, and that he's a good person, and that and a lot of times as well, people don't understand how to run a big business, right? He's
it's
got a
true.
good sized business, and he got 20 employees, and you know he's got to do certain things to stay in business. Not bad things, but just he has to run his business. Period.
Right.
And so people don't understand all of the decisions that he makes. And so they might look at it and think, oh, well, why would you do that? You're just trying to make money. Well, of course you're trying to make money. You're trying to stay
In
in business,
business,
right?
yeah,
Yeah. And so a lot of times, a lot of people don't realize that they can't empathize with it, right? And so they just jump to conclusions. And so it's unfortunate because all the hard work that he does, that he has done in the past, he's been making videos longer than us,
yeah,
right? Think of how much he's contributed to the wargaming community. Think of the hundreds and thousands of videos that he has that have gotten people into the hobby. Like, and all that is washed away because, like, oh, he treats his employees bad, but he doesn't even treat his employees bad. Like, he cares about every single one of them, and it's funny because like I got a chance to talk to his employees when I was there, and they all love Sean. You know,
yeah,
they'd all back him up just as much as I would, even more so. You know, like it's crazy how people just jump to conclusions. And
yeah,
when I meet somebody and I get to know them, then and I believe in them, then I stand behind them. I stand behind you. Like anything that would anyone try to say something bad about my brother, just watch the eye of terror rip a hole through the work. Like I want to see this. Like you just try it.
yeah, yeah. That's the unfortunate. That is the unfortunate thing about this. And then you know when you get bigger, it happens. Especially when you get more people watching you. I mean, even Joey's got her thing about the whole Indiegogo campaign that she ran, and you know, rumors flew there, and you know how she would make, you know, I'll look at all the money she's making. So, and honestly, the way she did it, she did not make anything. All right, it all came back to all the perks and everything that people bought into, because all that went back into there. At the end, it was all about promotion for her, anyways. So, you know, a lot of people just, you know, jump to conclusions thinking that she got tons of money off of it and stuff like that. And just making money off of, you know, all the war gamers out there and stuff like that. And, you know, you look at it and you're just wondering, well, yeah, yeah, that's what she's doing, yes. And that's what you're doing when you're selling your products or when you're selling Vault membership. That's what Sean's doing when he's selling his commission, or Nick's selling his commissions. You guys have a business to run, and we sometimes, as video makers, find ways to at least keep making videos. And that's another thing, is that I'm lucky where I'm in a position where I have a really good job and I do well doing it. And so I have time to be able to spend and make videos. A lot of people don't have that time. Sometimes you have to try to figure out a way to keep making videos or do whatever this hobby is. Otherwise, you just have to stop and get working on your job and stuff like that. I don't know where I'm going with this, but
Makes sense.
it's just basically that sometimes you just got to try something, even though it's not popular, and try to ignore the naysayers, because that's what it is, naysaying. A lot of people who naysay about stuff usually are the same people that are still sitting there with their little channels wondering why everyone got something or someone got something that they didn't. Because these guys are trying new innovative stuff. They're being creative about their videos or channels and trying to pump up more subscribers and stuff like that. If you don't like it, fine, but there's 2,000 other people that like it. So, you can sit here and bitch and moan, or you can just try to get in on the action and do your own thing and build up your channel and stuff like that. Because they say it's just not going to do anything.
Cool. When I think back on it, when Mini Wargaming was first started, and I think back of the size of the Mini Wargaming community, not the Wargaming community as a whole, but the Mini Wargaming community, it started with just one person. Like the first subscriber on YouTube, his username is Elche. I remember that just because I did a subscriber appreciation where I gave him a gift certificate to the store.
Nice.
So it starts with one person. So let's say it's like you and I. Let's say it's just the two of us. But that's a community. That's two people. It is. Like if you make a video and I comment on it, that's
right there. That's the community. Yeah.
Right there. Right. And so it's just if people, if they think that they have to have like huge amounts of activity in order to be successful, it's not the case at all.
No,
you got to start. You got to start somewhere, and you got to just like appreciate what you have. You have that small handful, and then it'll just grow from there. Especially if you're consistent. That's the key. And that's what we were talking about before. Is the consistency of making the videos, and not doing it in spurts. And if you do make a whole bunch at once, wait to release them.
Yeah. Just casually pace yourself. And, and that kind of leads into people asking me how they handle haters. And honestly, your 1 or 2 haters is nothing compared to your 400 or 500 likers. So pay attention more to the people who love watching your stuff than the 1 or 2 people that don't like what you do. And then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think that if you're yourself, if you're a nice person and you express gratitude to the viewership for allowing you to be who you are, because like the viewership, if it wasn't for the viewership, I wouldn't be who I was, because I wouldn't exist as Mini Wargamer Dave if it wasn't for the viewership. So I'm incredibly grateful for the viewers, and if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't feed my kids. They would be stick figures. Once again, I refer to the feeding of the children. I'm looking because she woke up and she's taking it. She's just...
That's okay. We're about to cut it short anyway. So is there anything else that you want to give out advice to other video makers?
Dad, I need to get
Do you hear that?
nice and clothes on.
Okay. Okay, sweetie.
There's some warm clothes.
Can you wait until Morgan wakes up?
Okay.
Okay. So you just gotta sit in the chair and put the blankie on, okay? So it's nice and warm. That's why. That's why I do what I do.
It's worth every penny, man. It's worth every time and effort.
Hey, you gotta stop being so wonderful. You're gonna make me cry. Like, you make me so happy. She's gonna see this later on when she's like a teenager. She's gonna be, Dad, you're insane. Oh yeah, she's turned off the lights. See, she's all about the setting and the polish, right? She's gonna make the mood all better. So you see that?
Yeah, she knows.
I don't even have to tell her. It's all instinctual, right?
She's
like us.
Director inside of her. So
yes, you like the Shrine of Chaos better, don't you? Yeah. Okay, that's good.
Any final words?
Any final words? Keep eating Chinese food because it's the best food in the world. And if you are good to people, they will just show you their chest hair. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, we're going to end this with the Q10, and the Q10 is a gift certificate to Miniwargaming.com, $50. So, what's the Q10? What's the question of this episode
Okay.
that
Sorry.
you can make up?
Okay, question to make up?
Yeah, the question to make up.
Yes, here's a question. What is a slaughter fiend?
There you go. Perfect. Put your comments down below, and then we'll pick a random person and win the $50 gift certificate to Miniwargaming.com. So thanks a lot, Dave. Thank you for joining me and doing this again because I messed up yesterday. I feel so guilty about it. So.
Anything for you, brother? It doesn't even
Sure.
matter. Like we'd be
Sure.
talking anyway, man. It doesn't.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
All good.
Well, thanks a lot, guys. Thank you
Happy
for watching.
wargaming.